Should an adult play video games? Why is that an important question? Because a lot of people spend a lot of time playing video games, and we need to ask ourselves the question, as a set-apart people, is that the best use of my time? Is a mature adult supposed to be playing something like that that could be considered a child's activity? Is it dignified? Does it have control over me? The stuff is here to serve me. I'm not here to get addicted to stuff. So it is a question that demands a Christian filter and perspective. Whilst I thought we were making pretty good time in answering those questions, during the break it was brought up that the older generation, the one that preceded older folks, might have said about television, that is not a good use of time. That is not something where you should be giving up so much of your discretionary time to get amused and entertained. That's true. I think that's probably a fair observation. In fact, the generation before them, they might have said that about radio. The generation before them might have said something about the telephone or the telegraph or whatever the recent invention is. I understand that, but that doesn't mean we can just dismiss it and go, well, the older generation, they would have said that about TV, and wait a second, is it possible they were correct? Instead of just dismissing it and brushing it underneath the carpet of, oh, just old folks, we should ask the question, are these things good things? And if they are, in and of themselves, neutral or even possibly good for us, do I have control over them? That's really the issue. And so an older generation might have just tisk-tisked a recent invention and said, oh, that's not good for us. Maybe the response of the older generation should have been, okay, that's different. That could be a good thing. It could benefit us. Human ingenuity, creating, God creates, we create. We are subduing the planet with that invention. The question now is, how can I utilize it and not have it have mastery over me? That is at least one question we should ask about video games. Let's just for a moment say that video games are totally neutral, the entire category totally neutral. Then I would say, if you have mastery over them, if your family isn't complaining, if you aren't just needing to get to it, you just shake and tremble until you can get back to that game, if it is an amount of time that is reasonable and it is on the priority list underneath service to your family, service in the local church, then I would say play on. But have you researched video games? I took some time to do that because I'm not a gamer myself, and it seems to me that video games can be broken down into two major categories. This is my observation based on Googling. I Googled the top 10 video games for 2017, 16, 15, just to take a look and see what's the big seller? What are people doing? And I noticed about 20, maybe 30%, give or take. So why don't we say 25%? 25% of the games are games. Numbers games, Sudoku, what are those things called? Sudoku. So what he just said, Sudoku, the things that you play with the dealer, you know, that like when you're waiting for the dentist to show up, those are games. They can be good for your brain. It can be something that just fills time, like playing chess. It can be something that allows you to interact with your family. I personally would say, okay, it's a game. You can utilize this equipment to relax, to maybe exercise your brain in a different way. Unfortunately, about 75% of the games are very violent. Just saw a commercial the other night. Wow, and so realistic. The soldiers killing each other. Is that maybe, aside here, contributing to our culture of death? Furthermore, is that something that a Christian should be really enjoying? Death is not something that should be celebrated. Death is not something that we play with. Death is not a game. Ask a soldier who struggles with PTSD. Those are traumatic events. Those are image bearers. They could be a communist, a Nazi, an Islamic terrorist, still a human being, and I shouldn't be like, oh, got a bunch of them today. And so I would say, if you want to play games at a discretionary level that does not take away from the rest of your responsibilities, that's up to you. But could I perhaps a little bit more forcefully suggest, would you please consider what you're doing with these violent games? I know it's pixels. Nevertheless, those are representatives of image bearers. And I don't think war games, violent games, bloody things are games at all. I think it is something that is very serious, something that shouldn't be trifled with, and it shouldn't be something that the Christian participates in. Period. Disagree? By all means, let me know. It wouldn't be the first time that No, it wouldn't be the first time that I was wrong. A dilemma at wretched.org. Thank you for watching our daily snippet. This was just a short clip. You know we do a daily TV broadcast. It's 30 minutes long, and you now have access to it for free thanks to the ongoing monthly support of our gospel partners. Watch as many shows as you can stomach at wretched.org. And don't forget, you can listen to thousands of hours of Wretched radio at wretched.org also. All thanks to the ongoing monthly support of our gospel partners. Hey, I just had this wacky idea. Would you like to become one of those? We'd be grateful. If you have benefited from any of the work that we've done here, we sure would appreciate your support. Visit wretched.org.